You want a trip to the Caribbean in a sweepstakes? If so, Mommy and I are going. You're staying behind, got it? If not, we're getting divorced.
Andrew used the threat of divorce to steal the Caribbean trip from me. His mom looked at me with a smirk, gloating. I can't let this slide. I'll get my special revenge on this mother-son duo. My name is Lillian, 32 years old. I'm just your regular working mother at some company. Andrew and I have been married for 2 years. I met him, 2 years my senior, through a mutual acquaintance. Never really been into romance, didn't date at all during college. Had a couple of relationships after starting work, but none led to marriage. Next thing I knew, I was 30. My parents worried about me, asked around for potential matches. Andrew was calm, caring deeply for his parents. Since I hold my parents dear as well, I was drawn to his similar mindset. I thought maybe I could make it work with him. Decided to marry him. Everything went smoothly, and we became husband and wife. Celebrated by many, it was pure bliss. About 6 months into our marriage, I got a barrage of calls from Andrew. I called back in a hurry. Andrew, with a drained voice, said,
Please stay calm. The thing is, Dad.
Something happened to Alfred?
He collapsed at home and was taken to the hospital. And then...
No way. I never thought I'd hear about my father-in-law's death so soon. He was the picture of health. Not just me, everyone was in shock. After that, Andrew became overly considerate of his now alone mom. He would visit her daily, having dinner or shopping together. Even took special leave once to go on a trip with her. It's not that he neglects me, but whenever our plans clash, he always chooses her.
Sorry, Lillian. Mom just called and wants me to come over.
But we were going to see a movie today.
She really wants to go shopping.
We planned this a week ago, and still?
Don't be like this. She's feeling lonely. You can go to the movie alone, can't you?
Fine. I said okay, but inside I was fuming. Why am I the one getting blamed? Isn't Matilda the demanding one? No matter his reasons for being considerate of his lonely mother-in-law, it's clear he's a mama's boy. However, aside from this issue with his mom, our marriage was okay. I assumed that this is just what marriage is like. My personal escape? Solving crossword puzzles with prizes. They were perfect for when Andrew ditched me for Matilda. And sometimes I'd win gift cards or assorted food items. One day, I actually won a pair of tickets to the Caribbean. It was the biggest prize I'd ever won. I double-checked the win multiple times out of sheer excitement. The tickets required you to specify who would be traveling before contacting the airline. I thought hard about who'd I'd take. Of course, the first person that came to mind was Andrew, but I had my reservations. Andrew often traveled with Matilda, and if I suggested traveling together, I had a feeling she might want to tag along. After much consideration, I decided to gift the trip to my parents. On my way home, I dropped by my parents' house and broke the news to Mom. Mom, guess what? I won tickets to the Caribbean. Oh my, that's amazing. You're going with Andrew, right? Have fun. Not exactly. I thought I'd give them to you and Dad. To us? Are you sure? Absolutely. Andrew travels enough. I want you two to enjoy this. Oh, thank you, Lillian. We'll definitely take you up on that. Mom grinned with excitement. Dad, however, seemed pensive. Dad? He looked troubled.
Well, I've got work.
Can't you take some leave?
This time of the year is busy for our company. It's not really the best time for me to be away.
Oh, that's too bad. Then he suggested,
Why not go with Olivia?
me?
It was originally your prize, right? Go enjoy some quality time with her.
Mom chimed in excitedly. That sounds wonderful. I felt elated and increasingly excited. The next day, I applied for leave, and it was quickly approved. I quickly contacted the airline and informed them that my mom and I would be using the tickets. On my way home from work, I stopped by a bookstore and bought a guidebook for the Caribbean trip. It had been ages since Mom and I had gone on a trip together. I was honestly thrilled, but when I got home, an unexpected sight awaited me. I'm home.
Huh?
Seeing the lights on, I naturally assumed Andrew was home. But instead of his shoes at the entrance, there were a familiar pair of women's shoes. As I pondered, the living room door opened, revealing Matilda.
Lillian, what time do you think it is?
Oh, Matilda, didn't realize you were here.
It's not just about being here. Coming home this late, what have you been doing? Andrew will be back any minute now.
I'm sorry, I'll get dinner ready right away.
It's not just about that, is it? Making the bed is just basic common sense for a daughter-in-law. Do you even take your role seriously?
I'm sorry?
Things have gotten this way because you're still working. You should be more dedicated to your home.
Matilda huffed and strutted back to the living room. Given that she lived nearby and Andrew had given her a key, she often dropped by without notice.
A daughter-in-law is supposed to serve her husband and this family.
With such archaic beliefs, she clearly disapproved of me working full-time. She would constantly nitpick and criticize, making it impossible for me to warm up to her. As I set my bags down and started preparing dinner, Matilda suddenly shrieked.
Wait, what's this? Lillian, are you planning to go to the Caribbean?
Huh? She had rummaged through my bag and found the newly bought guidebook. Matilda, why are you going through my things?
That's not the point. What's this about going to the Caribbean?
I won the trip in a sweepstake. I was planning to gift it to Mom.
I've heard nothing about this.
Why would I need to? Our spat was interrupted by Andrew's arrival. Matilda rushed to him, pointing at me accusingly.
Andrew, listen to this. Lillian's been so inconsiderate.
What happened, Mom? Did Lillian do something?
Do you believe she won a Caribbean trip and planned to give it to Olivia without even consulting me?
What? Caribbean trip? This is news to me, too.
Andrew glared at me, demanding,
What's going on?
It's simple. I won the trip and thought of gifting it to my parents. But since Dad can't go...
So you're going with Olivia?
Yes? What's the big deal? You always travel with Matilda.
It's not the same. Me and Mom only go on domestic trips. We haven't been abroad in years. How can you decide this without consulting me?
It's my prize. Why should I? Andrew slammed the table, cutting me off.
You're getting too bold for a daughter-in-law. Me and Mommy are going. You'll stay home.
Mommy. I couldn't hide my distaste at Andrew's childish word choice. Hold on, this trip, you see?
Enough. If you're not happy, let's divorce.
What? Divorce? I couldn't believe my ears. Threatening divorce over something like this? Angry, I retorted, I won this trip fair and square. I've already decided to gift it to my own mom.
Just pick up on the vibes for once. Mommy wants to go.
Where does it end with prioritizing Matilda? You never consider how I feel.
I don't care how you feel. As I said, this trip is for me and Mommy. Stay home and be good.
I felt my affection for Andrew rapidly cooling. To him, I was clearly lower than Matilda. I couldn't keep dealing with this ridiculous mother-son duo. Calmly, I told Andrew, Fine, do as you wish. Enjoy your trip.
Humph, you should have listened from the start.
Suit yourself.
Always talking back.
The kind Andrew I knew was nowhere to be found. And there was Matilda, smirking triumphantly. I decided to leave this house while they were on the trip. I resolved to let Andrew and Matilda take the trip this time. The next day, I contacted the airline to notify them of the change in participants to Andrew and mother-in-law. However, the operator replied with a concerned tone,
I'm sorry, but we cannot change the registered participants once they've been confirmed.
Is that so?
Yes. Moreover, this airline ticket requires the actual winner to accompany. So if it's your husband and mother-in-law, the ticket itself will become invalid.
So if I don't go, the ticket has no purpose, right?
That's correct. Please review the documents we sent you for this specific condition.
Upon checking the documents I received, it clearly stated, only the winner has the right to use the ticket, and it cannot be transferred. I explained the situation to the operator and decided to decline the trip. Without notifying Andrew and Matilda, I made plans to let them travel at their own expense. That night, when I returned home from work, I casually mentioned it to Andrew. Andrew, about the Caribbean trip.
Yeah, you contacted the airline, right? Saying that Mommy and I will go?
I did call. Here are the winning documents and the tickets.
I only need the tickets. I won't read the documents.
There are detailed instructions in those documents. Considering it's an international trip, I think it would be wise to read them.
I don't need to. Mommy and I know what we're doing. We're efficient, not like you.
Fine, whatever. I'll leave them here just in case. As I had expected, Andrew didn't bother to read the documents and proceeded to the day of the trip. After confirming Andrew had left, I packed my bags and headed to my parents' house. While I was unpacking, as anticipated, I received a call from Andrew. As soon as I picked up, he started shouting,
Hey, what's the meaning of this? They said this ticket can't be used.
That's right. If the winner doesn't go, the ticket is invalid.
What? Why didn't you tell me something so crucial earlier?
I did tell you. Remember, it might be a good idea to read the instructions.
You mean it was written in those documents you gave me?
Exactly. It's your fault for not reading.
This is absurd. So how are we supposed to get to the Caribbean?
Well, the operator did mention, if the winner is not accompanying, you'd have to pay the full price.
The full price?
Clearly not expecting this turn of events, Andrew sounded panicked. I could hear Matilda's voice in the background, indicating they were both in distress.
Andrew, what did Lillian say?
Mommy, if Lillian doesn't have to pay for the trip.
What? Let me talk to her.
I can't deal with this anymore. They can figure it out on their own. After silently hanging up, it was only a few minutes before Andrew called back. Hello, what is it now? I'm busy.
It's not what is it. I tried to buy the tickets, but the credit card isn't working.
Huh? I don't know anything about your card.
It's not mine, it's your card.
Oh, so you're saying you used my card without my permission?
Just fix it now.
When I checked my wallet this morning, my card was missing. I had a hunch and immediately froze it. I knew you stole it.
Are you kidding me? I was planning to shop with that card abroad. Always messing things up, you jerk. You freaking witch.
He showed no remorse for taking the trip or for stealing the card. This guy always putting himself first. I can't handle him anymore. Feeling this way, I coldly told him off. A jerk? Who are you calling that? After mocking others all the time, you should just go to hell.
What? Who are you talking to like that?
Who do you think? Calling out for mommy is honestly creepy. If you love mommy so much, why don't you two just stay together? I can't handle you, a mama's boy. There's no value in us being married.
Hey, calm down. If you keep this up, we'll divorce.
Fine by me. I was thinking the same thing. I've left the house and don't plan to come back. Enjoy your time abroad with your beloved mommy. Hope you both drown in the Caribbean. Damn mama's boy. In a rage, I hung up and blocked both Andrew and his mother. After that, I visited a law firm my father recommended and started the divorce process. When I checked our savings for asset division, I realized our joint account had been emptied. There were multiple withdrawals, all lining up with when Andrew went on a trip with his mother. It was clear he used it for his travels with her. Plus, he had used my credit card without permission. I demanded a large compensation. He ended up in debt and seemed to be chased by creditors. The once spoiled mother, now restricted by our actions, saw her relationship with Andrew sour, arguing every time they met. Considering how he used to act, it's ironic. Meanwhile, I decided to stay with my parents for a time. I've been a worry, so I want to make it up to them by living together and taking care of them. Honestly, I'm done with marriage. What's truly valuable is a caring family. This whole divorce ordeal made me realize that again.